Hey there, thanks for joining me here today on this beautiful Labor Day of 2025. It is so great to see you. Summer is really still in full swing, but in a lot of places it's not. It's pretty much over in their minds. So go figure. Yeah, school has been back in session for many people here, especially in the Southeast. They've been back for a few weeks now, and probably in some other places too. They just started. We didn't usually go back to school until after Labor Day today. Anywho, I have a great guest on here today. His name is David Wilcox. He is a wonderful, very talented musician, has so many great songs out there. He has been recording for well over 36 years, has many excellent albums. He has a great new one out, and we talk about that project and how it all came together and his life in Asheville, North Carolina, just a beautiful part of the world. I highly recommend visiting Nashville. Thank you so much for joining me and hope to see you on the other side of this thing. Take care.
Hi,
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, hanging in there. It's a little bit cooler here in the southeastern United States, so it
Hmm.
feels a little bit better. It's been a brutal summer, actually spring as well here in 2025. So where are you at this morning?
Asheville.
I love Asheville. Yeah, you're all doing okay after all of what Helena's done up there.
Yeah, there are parts that will never come back, but there are parts that are fine so far. Yeah.
Good. That's good to hear. It's just such a lovely place. It's a great getaway for those of us here in Atlanta. It's just
Ah,
really, yeah, yeah, not a bad drive up the road and
yeah.
just very inspiring there.
I'm looking forward to coming to Atlanta. There's a thing in November, I think, just before Thanksgiving, and I'm going to have an extra day to sort of just walk around, see the town.
Yeah, there's some interesting sights. If you get a chance to see the Civil Rights Museum, it's really
Mm,
nice.
yeah.
Incredibly nice. Some good attractions you could do all in a day, and then the
Uh-huh.
MLK Center over there as well.
Yeah.
Really good stuff. And then obviously downtown Decatur nearby, east of town, is beautiful.
Yeah.
And seeing the John Lewis statue is really nice in
Is that?
Decatur.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's right in downtown Decatur. They put up a really nice statue of John Lewis. It's
Nice.
beautiful. Really nice, but so much going on here as well. And wow, you got a great new release out.
It's true. I've listened to a lot of music over the years. Some of my favorite singer-songwriters, I follow them album after album. And every once in a while, somebody comes out with one, and I think, wow, they must have been through some shit. This is a great record.
Yeah, right what you know, right?
Yeah.
That's just,
So,
it
yeah.
comes out.
So now it's my turn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the title of it is the personal part of all of this too.
Yeah.
Where exactly does that come from in your own personal history?
The way I tell the story is, it's a fascinating thing. The events of our life, they are what they are. Telling a better story about it doesn't change the past, but it definitely changes the meaning of the past, and that's a big deal. It
Hmm.
can take a sort of a circular story and turn it into a story that has an arc. It
Yeah,
can,
yeah. You don't deny your history.
yeah,
You're not divorcing it per se. You want to look forward, but honor the history, but just don't wallow in the history in the
sure,
past.
yeah,
And we really feel that way sometimes. You made a great video along with that as well.
yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very just, beautiful self-aware kind of track, and it really does unpack a lot of half-truths. Yeah, it's very,
Yeah.
very nice.
Good, thanks.
Yeah, and you have seem to have a lot of influence with like James Taylor and people like that. Have you followed a lot of James Taylor?
The people that influenced me most coming up were Nick Drake, John Martin, Joni Mitchell, and other interesting little sidelines that are harder to pick up, but Tony Rice. Uh, and a lot of the most inspiring people were not really famous, but just sometimes local musicians that I got to know, um, because they showed a way to make it possible to have music be not just a commodity for the professionals to do, but a language of discovering how to communicate between my own mind and my own heart. Um, and for me, that's the sustainable goal. That's why I come to writing these days. So I sort of sing myself sane, song by song.
How does the inspiration come to you? Being obviously in the Asheville area, Western North Carolina is pretty inspiring in and of itself. What motivates you? And when you do come up with lyrics and melody, how does that process come together for you? Do you immediately go write it down, crack out the Android or the iPhone? How do
There's
you
a
go
lot
about that?
of little voice messages on my phone, whether they're ideas or little bits of poetry or little bits of melody. Uh, and I compile those pretty meticulously. I take
Hmm.
good notes. And usually the things that want to become songs are conversations that stick with me with friends, and things that I want to remember. The songs, the writing helps me discern a truth that I'm approaching, and the performing kind of holds me accountable to remember the best of what I have felt my life can be.
Yeah, yeah. And when you perform, is it tough for you to remember lyrics? How does that come about? Or a lot of people are using the old teleprompter these days.
Um, I find that I love playing new songs. I love playing the songs that are just a day or two old. So yeah, I can sometimes have a lyric in front of me, but I I love the the focus that comes when I'm performing, and uh, the song pretty much takes care of itself. So my focus is thinking about the subtext, thinking about
Mm.
the story that the song came from, and the sort of origin uh, of the emotion. And I go to that in my mind as I'm singing.
Yeah, and it must be such a special skill set to do that while you're performing. It is multitasking, so it must take, your many amount of hours to practice and to really get it down. Did you start doing this at a pretty young age? How you learn music, and were you self-taught as well?
I didn't start playing guitar till I was 18,
Mm.
and I started writing pretty bad songs when I was 20. And by the time I was 30, I had some good ones.
Yeah, and just how do you feel that you have gotten good at that? It was just do more and more and more, get your 10,000 hours in.
Um, I think the way that I got good at it was um, not assuming that the sound of my voice was good enough reason to sing. The way I got good at it was thinking about the gift of other people's attention being something I don't take for granted. And I have to have an idea that I think the song can deliver that would make their lives better.
Mm. And you've done your job. If somebody can come to see you and you give them however long the show is,
Yeah.
then you've definitely done your job. And also with the projects that you have, what number album is this now for you?
20 something, I don't know. There are some that are digital only. So depending on whether you count those or not, it's 23 or 25, something like
Mm.
that.
Yeah, so that's quite an output because it's really, what would you consider the beginning of your recording career? Is it the late 80s now?
Yeah. Uh-huh. First record was 87. Yeah.
And you were originally on A&M Records?
There were three records on A&M. Yeah. 2 through number 4, and that was a great ride. It was really fun. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. And you went through the whole process of dealing with A&R people, touring, promoting. I'm sure that model has kind of changed pretty much these days. Feels like, yes, everybody can do this and you can control it, but that's also the thing. Everybody can do this and self-record and release and
Uh-huh.
do all this other stuff. So
Yeah.
that's probably the challenge of it all as far as that goes.
Yeah.
Well,
I love that I can write a new song and put it out that day.
yeah,
That's really fun.
that
I love
amazing.
doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
much
people
different than
react to it
those,
all over.
than the old analog and the tape and all that
Yeah.
that process. But that had
Yeah.
advantages too, and what we
Yeah.
have now have advantages and disadvantages. It's
Hmm.
all trade-offs.
Yeah.
So how long did this project take from writing and then you recorded it up there in that area or somewhere else?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Recorded it at Echo Mountain, a lovely studio in Asheville. And there were a lot of songs to choose from. It was really a fun process. When I was first talking to my friend Michael, the producer, he said, "Well, just send me the songs that are sort of top of the list." And I sent him a nice list of songs, and he said, "What is this?" I said, "Well, that's the songs that you asked." He said, "Dave, this is 50 songs." I said, "Yeah, well, they're good." And he said, "Do another sort. Send me 12." I said, "No, that's impossible."
Yeah, it's
How
like
about
pick,
20? Yeah.
yeah, it's tough picking your favorite children, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
quite a process. And then, basically sequencing, of course, as I would
Hmm.
recommend anybody listening to this new release. Um, it's a great flow. Basically that powerful opener and a great closer and great stuff in between. So did that take a while with you and your producer, Michael?
I do love obsessing over the sequence, and it is fascinating thinking of the story, thinking how the songs sort of flow into each other and inform each other. It's just now that I'm beginning to see some of the fascinating commonalities. There are themes that show up in several songs that I didn't realize were so common. Like, for example, um, in the song The Beautiful, there's
Mm.
this idea of the frame around the painting being sort of like the way a little boat holds back the ocean. So that song is about making sure that you have your emotional buoyancy and you don't sink in the sea of sorrow. So the way I tell the story uses an image of the frame around the painting, but that same idea also shows up in the song Roses, which is about
Hmm.
a guy tending a rose garden in the middle of a war zone. And both of those songs are about tending your heart, making sure that you can still be useful because you're not just depressed. Uh, and so making sure that you have some way to sustain your emotional buoyancy. And the song Shimmer is the same idea, except that's about the kind of lover's aura. You see a
Yeah.
couple that have that sort of self-contained world. Uh, and this song uses the image of walking out on the rocks in the middle of a river and having, I describe it as, the world's going by, all the events that but in this image of where we stand and where we kiss, uh, we are kind of, we can get above it and not get swept away. We don't get carried down the river. And so in that song, there's this line about, this is where we meet. Even curbside at the airport, we step into the river when we meet. And so, wait a minute, there's no river at the airport. So what I'm talking about is that lover's
Mm.
safety, that um, Yeah. And the song I Made It Rain, that has the same kind of fascinating place where it's talking about this humble craft that I love, but it describes it parallel with also describing someone who walks up on a hill, crafts some homemade wings, flies above the clouds, and makes it rain. Now that's impossible. But when I describe the the other story in the song, which is the writing and the playing of music, it's just as unlikely because in that song I'm saying there's some kind of emotional alchemy, you know?
Yeah.
I make new beauty from old pain. And that is just as miraculous to me. So um, it's pretty fun that there's this overall theme of how do we survive tough times. And in my opinion, times get tough, music gets good, and this is the stuff that sustains me. These are the songs I need to hear.
It's like your therapy. This is where you work it out.
Yeah.
And so many of us, what you discover is so many can relate to that. So you're doing good as well. It's like group therapy, actually,
Mm-hmm.
just through art. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
this, that lyric. I made it rain. I found the lift to where the air is cold and thin.
Yeah.
It's just, that really stood out
Good.
in a lot of those type of songs. I love Shimmer. Very nice piano on there. You have a good cast of characters on this album.
It's true.
Who is doing piano on that?
I don't even know.
You got some good people here, and I was
Yeah.
noting some of them here as well. Some people who
Yeah.
had worked with some notable folks here as well.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Bill Berg, who did
Mm.
he drums on Bob Dylan's Blood on the Tracks.
He's such a wonderful human, and just the ability to really serve the song. And it was so fun recording with him in that big room at Echo Mountain, hearing the the ambient sound of those drums. And yeah, it's so satisfying when the songs get lifted up by all these great players.
Yeah, it's a great base for a song for the building blocks of it. It's the foundation, and you could really feel it in that. And this is no machine can really replace somebody like Bill Berg. It's just and it's incredible, and especially when you listen to a lot of the work on this album, and you go back to something like Blood on the Tracks. It's just totally amazing.
Yeah, I like
Absolutely.
it.
I'm sure very inspirational. How did you get so many of these people together? Was this Michael Selvern?
Michael Selvern, yes.
Was he able
Um,
to call all these all this wonderful talent to help you out here?
well, he knows all these people, and so
Yeah.
it's lovely because when he calls them up, it's you're not starting cold. Yeah,
That's good. Good to have the connections. It just
yeah.
it enriches the project so much more
Hmm.
throughout. How long did this project take to record?
I would say the the initial thing was recorded in the studio, uh, and then send out tracks to friends all over the country, get back all those ideas, sort of sort out which ones are going to work, and over the mix and all that, it was probably years in the making, but the fun part was you still had that initial all together in the studio drums, bass, electric guitar. The foundations of the song had that spontaneity and um, that real kind of listening to each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your opening track is incredibly powerful as well. I love the line, I can alter the way the neurons fire.
Yes,
Just
I like
really,
it.
really brilliant stuff. This kind of poetry, did you really get into poetry? Did you do a lot of reading growing up?
Um, Most poetry escapes me. Um, I have to really work at poetry.
Yeah.
And my poetry tends to be more story oriented, uh, and so I like to stick with one sort of metaphor and really play it out. And so, um, yeah, it's the kind of poetry that kind of uses a lot of different metaphors all together. Um, I tend to. It takes me a long time when I'm sort of trying to feel my way into that, and I'm getting better at it. It's fascinating how after all this time, I feel like I kind of know what I'm doing, but it makes me smile when I think of all the years when I was kind of wandering through the forest, no map, just kind of bumping into things. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you find like you could be your own big self-critic and constantly scratch things out? Okay, this line's better, this line's better. Is it really tough to come to that final product when you finally have all your lyrics down?
I love revising. I think writing is rewriting, and I love spending a lot of time on the tiny little words, spending a lot of time, uh, sort of testing and feeling into how else it could be, and experimenting, letting myself rewrite something that I think is good enough, just in case I can come up with something better. And I love that process because I think if I had the ability to miraculously, write something out first draft that was a keeper, um, I would miss the best thing that the song is trying to offer me. The process of writing for me, that process of staying in the unknowing and keep asking the questions, that's where the song works on me. And it's fine for me to work on the song, but what I really get out of it is where that subtle discernment gradually gathers a wisdom that's kind of beyond what I am living now. And it's a way of creating something that's actually a beacon of ahead of me, what I'm headed toward. Uh, and I love how music can do that. So I love to take my time with the writing. And it's not that I'm critical or I think the fascinating thing about the writing process is there's so many drafts. There's so many drafts that I think are the final draft, and I will print out the lyric and then I'll see one little word that has to change. And then I'll realize, oh man, I need to print this again. And then I wind up wasting a lot of paper because that happens 50 times. So I think uh, the it's lucky that I enjoy that process of rewriting. And I think that what I get out of it is not just a better song, but I get more time spent listening for what my heart's trying to tell me.
Mm, mm. Yeah, it's a way of working things out. But yeah, a lot of paper does go missing. So if we see more spots there in Asheville, more trees have come down for all that paper, I'm sure. So My Own Mind has great harmonica on there that I've really noticed that. It really adds to the layering of your opening track and just really, again, another great line I like. I hack the alarm in my
Yeah,
own mind.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's something I could totally relate to as well. Just
yeah,
like, yeah, I could beat this because we
yeah,
do. We have the alarms in our own mind, and
yeah,
some are better than others.
yeah. That's actually not a harmonica, it's a melodica.
I'm alone. Okay.
Yeah, you know the one? The keyboard with the tube
Oh
that
yeah,
you
yeah.
blow
Oh my
into?
gosh.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. It's
yeah.
the guy who used to work on Stephen Colbert's show, who used that a lot, I believe.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's really, really neat. Yeah, it sounds fantastic. But yeah, so many great tracks. The next right thing feels another one with lyrics that you could totally relate to as well. You can I feel the anger with fear is just something that really draws you in.
Yeah,
Yeah, really
yeah,
incredible track on there as well. And I can't argue has really great piano on it as well. Just who is singing with you and doing the backing vocals on that? It's like an answer
yeah. It's
to
Ellis
your
Paul.
very, very, very soulful and very great tune.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that it gives voice to the other character in that sort of dramatic monologue. Yeah.
Yeah, it just I love that call and response
Hmm.
kind of thing. Was
Yeah.
that an idea that you had come up with or Michael had come up with?
That was Michael's idea.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very clear, that way that response goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Are you getting out there now touring in support of this album?
Yeah. I just came back from a festival in Connecticut, and it was a really fun weekend. I had a great time. I flew early because, there's I got there on Saturday, even though my gig was on Sunday, and I
Hmm.
arrive on Saturday, and I'm met at the gate by one of the festival runners, and she shouts over her shoulder, "It's not him!" And I said, "Who are you looking for?" And she said, uh, "The main stage performer is supposed to go on, and he's not here yet." I said, "I can play." And she said, "Would you?" I said, "Yeah." So I played Saturday night, and then I played again on Sunday. And I didn't repeat any songs, which is kind of rubbing it in.
Wow. Yeah.
But it felt so good. Yeah.
Yeah. What a gift, and to be able to just get in there and just do it. I'm sure
Yeah.
that you have to feel like 10 feet tall after something like that. That's great. And it's a great accomplishment.
It made me feel particularly good because I do have this hobby of making my acoustic guitar sound incredibly full on stage. It's a technical fix. It's a choir of pickups, more than a dozen transducers, with a little submixer on stage. And so I can deliver one XLR output and just say, set it flat, no roll off, and it's going to sound great and it can't possibly feed back. And that's so rare. I've even got a kick drum built into the guitar
Hmm.
that I can effortlessly play with my thumb. And so it's such a great hobby that I find such satisfaction in delivering a great guitar sound.
Yeah. That's fantastic. So, do you travel with a lot of equipment? How does that work for you when
Yeah,
you're
I
on the
have
road?
one roller bag that's just the stuff that makes my guitar sound great, and
Hmm.
then I have my suitcase. So I'll check the suitcase when I first check in, and then check the guitar at the gate, so I don't have to pay for it, and roll the bag on, and it's everything I need.
Great. So you have been touring all this time as you've been
Hmm.
recording all these years now?
Yeah, yeah,
Wh-
and
wh-
that's another thing I
yeah.
enjoy more now than I ever have. It's a cool challenge to think of the adversity as a teacher, sort of like the people who run sprints in the sand at the beach. I mean, it's not the fastest way to get there, but it definitely makes you strong. And I think, yes, being on the road can make you crazy, but if you think of it as sort of the weightlifting for your sanity, it's if you can stay sane on the road, then by the time you get home, you feel like you've really got some emotional autonomy. You've got some ability to sort of really know how to center yourself and get clear on what makes you happy.
Hmm. What do you do to prepare for a show? Is there like a before stage ritual or anything like that?
Definitely.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of voice warm-ups. I love getting my voice all dialed in. And there's just a picturing of what's possible. Um, I Music is a sacred thing to me, and I know that there are songs that have changed my life. So I dare to expect that to happen for the audience. And it's an outrageous thing. It's got some audacity in there to imagine that, a song could really sort of mark your life as, ooh, before and after. but that has happened to me. I have heard songs that have changed my life. So I I I imagine that and I take the song seriously. Not that my songs are that great, but I do this weird sort of Aikido move with my emotional resistance. I say, yeah, if I was nervous, it's because I'm wondering if I deserve to be up there in front of everybody. And
Mm.
the answer to that question is no, but it's the wrong question. So the question is not what I deserve. The question is what they deserve. They've
Mm.
come a long way from perfectly comfortable living rooms to feel something. And right now, if they're going to feel something, it's got to come through me. So my job is to get out of the way
Mm-hmm. Mm.
and sort of trick my resistance so that I don't have to, um, bog down their experience with my wonderings of if I'm worthy. So, yeah,
Mm. Yeah, yeah, and you get that response. It's nice. Do you premiere songs that the audience wouldn't have heard just to test it out on them when you're on the
definitely.
road? Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it happens a lot that I will play a song that's a day or two old. Yeah, I like it. And there's some songs that get played once, and
Yeah.
never again.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun that too, because there are, it happens. There are people who request a particular song that they heard years ago, and I'll say, I don't think that's my song. And they say, oh, no, no, I remember you sang it that one time. And I think, oh, well, that song has returned to the circling winds. It is gone.
Yeah, I think you have to get on the old phone there and see if it's in your catalog. It's like, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm sure because you produce so much and you write so much for each project and only so much get on there as well. So I'm sure that's got to be a huge challenge. Um, you have a great closing track on this. What's the inspiration on this? I wish you enough.
I Wish You Enough is a song that I imagine to be sending someone off with a wish for them to have a great life. But a great life is not necessarily an easy life. A great life can be a life that has a lot of adversity, stories to tell. And so imagine like somebody dropping their kid off at college or someone, uh, you know, parting a relationship or but this wish for my favorite part of that song is the bridge um, because I say in the bridge uh, you know it hurts to feel the pain inside, but the pain inside won't hurt you. There's freedom in accepting what is true, and it's easy to metabolize the sorrow into healing, and nothing
Hmm.
kills like painkillers do. And this outrageous thing about it's easy to metabolize the sorrow into healing. Metabolize is a word that we would use talking about digestion.
Right.
And I'm saying old pain can be turned into compassion and energy and vision. And uh, I have experienced this and I know how to do it. And it seems kind of like obvious and easy at this point in my life. But I know that if you'd told me that when I was 20,
Yeah.
it would have been hard for me to believe. And so I love that I come to this song when I sing it. I come to it with a gratitude of knowing that our hearts are made to heal. And it is a lovely thing that if we are not afraid, we venture in to some past experience, and I call it cardio spelunking.
Mm.
You go in with the world's best flashlight, which is music, and you go into this deep dark cave, and you wind up realizing, oh, it's just old pain. It didn't kill you the first time. It's not going to kill you now. But actually, what it will do is bring you to life because it's such a great trade to start with old pain and delve into it and get curious, take it apart, find out what it's made of. And it's made of beautiful things. It's made of yearning and expectations and even faith. And so when we delve into it and feel our hearts move with it, it goes through these layers and winds up giving us energy. And I love it. It's such a fun reframe of what the adversity in our life is for.
You were mentioning earlier about certain songs that really were a life changer. What songs would you consider that you've heard?
Wow. I could go to the first one all the way back to when I was, I don't know, maybe 9 or 10 years old. Maybe it was before that. But I heard a song that was uh, Sit down, old friend. There's something in my heart I must tell you. In the end, at the very end, there's nothing but love.
Mm.
And it was a song that I didn't know at the time, but it was a song by somebody who had really hit bottom. He had been, a rock and roller, and he had uh, kind of found his uh, after he came through the lowest point in his life. Uh, he was telling the truth in his music. He was not trying to, like have a persona that was uh, slick and crafted. It was honesty. And as a kid, I was listening to a grown up shed the authority of his sort of role and uh, just speak truth. And that was a big deal for me at the time. And putting life in absolute terms like that. Um, in the end, at the very end, there is nothing but love. And I've come back to that idea over and over and tried to write my own songs about that, like Deeper Still. Um, but yeah, that was a song that once I heard it, it changed the way I could imagine what life was about. And I love that it's music that my heart is most open to. Uh, and there's a lot of friends, when I see them again, they'll say, "Hey, what are you reading?" And I always ask, "What are you listening to? What's
Hmm.
the song that has really moved you?" I love that music moves me, and I love that it moves me in the direction I want to go.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it's unexplainable. It could just so resonate and you're like, wow, this is, an emotional game changer in life. It's
Yeah.
just really incredible. Yeah, I'm very impressed. You got some great people on here that have worked with some huge names here as well. Daryl Jones is one that really comes to mind, somebody who had worked with the Rolling Stones,
Yeah.
getting him involved, and Al Carty, Rob Thomas, Michael Bearden, who worked with Lady Gaga, Madonna. So impressive people who are on this project for
It's
sure.
been so fun feeling the songs lifted up by all their great inspiration. It's an honor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Good project. And is it available in CD form? You have it on
Yes, it
vinyl as
is.
well?
I don't think it's vinyl, but there's CDs, and um, I I'm looking forward to hearing back from people what they get from it. I've already gotten voice messages from friends that are saying, I can hear you. I can hear what you've been through, and it helps me love you more. I love those messages. It's
Yeah,
really
that's
because,
fantastic.
um, what I want from music is a life that sings. I'm not after the songs. I'm after the feeling in my life that the songs point me toward. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
and you have a lot of inspirations within the music community. Katie
Yeah.
Lang covered you as well. It had to
Yeah.
be an absolute thrill when you probably discovered that.
That was fun.
Yeah, that's very good. Do you get notes from any of them over from time to time?
There are fun gatherings, festivals, and stuff like that when I meet other singer-songwriters again, because normally we're just chasing around the country on our own, but it's really fun to catch up with each other. Yeah.
Yeah, and these paths just cross. It's a community, but yeah, it's a
Yeah.
huge community as well. So
Yeah.
it's got to be thrilling when you do get to cross paths and get to see people like Tony Rice. It's just a huge inspiration as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean Colvin is another one that comes to mind. It's just another lovely person, great artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And we can get this wherever you get your music.
Hmm.
It's on your website as well.
And Spotify and all the usuals. Yes,
Just davidwilcox.com.
that's true. Yes.
Excellent. And for those who would be watching on YouTube, you got a great setup here. Is there a story behind all the instruments that are beautifully lining behind you there?
Well, I was just rehearsing this morning. I was gonna make an acoustic version of the sequence of the album, so I'm sort of lining up all the best guitars for each song.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Uh, as far as touring goes, you'll be doing the US. Will you go overseas as well?
Some, but not much. I love playing in Italy, and I really enjoyed playing in Spain and New Zealand and Australia,
Ooh.
and I hope to do more of that. But it's mostly just the travel that I love, and it's so nice that I was a traveler first, and that's really um, worth it to me. If I can go on some great adventure and do a bicycle trip in Italy and then come
Mm.
back with a little cash in my pocket, that's totally worth it. I love
Oh, it's a
just
dream
the
to
travel.
bike in
Yeah,
Italy. That's just, I love cycling. Yeah, that's fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah, and who could pass up the gelato and actually real
Every
food?
day, every day. Yeah,
Yeah, very inspirational. Talk about that. But you got the beautiful Western North Carolina mountains. Do you
yeah.
get out and bike over there as well?
I do. Yeah, it's
Works out the
beautiful.
quads for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. It's just such a anybody who travels the U.S. really needs to see Western North Carolina. It's really open for business. A lot of great restaurants and so many amazing artists from so many different mediums. It's
Hmm.
just really incredible. Just all kinds of different stuff up there. It's just a beautiful part of the country.
I agree.
Absolutely. Well, it's been so nice chatting with you this morning,
Thank you
and
much.
hope to see you here in the Atlanta, Georgia area
Yeah,
if
I'll
you
be
get down
playing
there.
Eddie's just before Thanksgiving.
Of course, Eddie's Attic, another
Hmm.
wonderful place that gets mentioned almost all the time
Yeah,
here as well. So, love downtown Decatur. You'll love that John Lewis statue. It's
yeah.
they've done some really nice stuff in downtown Decatur, and they keep doing it. So, yeah, fantastic.
Thanks for talking. Thanks for getting the word out.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care.
All right. See ya.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.
Wasn't that amazing? He is just such a great talent. Good guy, incredibly gifted. Seems like he's really organized as well. Seems like a good, smart, organized guy. Anyway, thanks. If you've gotten this far, I really congratulate you. So thank you so much for listening, and I got some more in the can here. Take care.